Content warning. The Adventures in HellwQrld podcast talks in depth about QAnon, which means we have to talk about all kinds of child abuse and violence against people. Listener discretion advised.
Hello, everybody. I am Mike Rands, a.k.a. Poker and Politics, and welcome to another episode of Adventures in HellwQrld. This week, I am joined by Arizona Right Wing Watch, a.k.a. Haley.
Hello.
I am also joined by the mysterious L.
Hello, my beautiful babies.
It is the end of the year L, who's about to be reborn at the baby New Year L next week, or probably in 2 weeks, because I ain't going to be here next week.
Yes, soon I too will be a beautiful baby.
Yes.
A fresh, new, optimistic babe, ready to see Donald Trump's new America again.
The greatest America. Truly the most incredible of Americas.
He's gonna make it again. Maga!
I truly enjoyed that when that actually became his re-election slogan in 2020. For a little while, it was "Keep America Great," and then COVID hit, and then he was like, "I'm just going to go back to make America great again." And it's like, but you're the president. Are you currently saying after 4 years of your sustained excellence, we're not already great?
MAGA, bro.
Yes, exactly. MAGA was just so much more effective than CAG, which was not nearly as awesome.
Yeah, but then let's say it gets a letter K in the mix, and I feel like they probably love that letter.
Oh,
if they could just integrate more K's and H's into their platform, that'd be great.
Yeah. Yes, that is pretty much all they want, and unfortunately for them, they only got one, and that didn't work. So we're going to go back to MAGA because it just rolls right off the tongue. It's just
fun to say.
Yeah, MAGA. Yeah. Every now and then I still see someone wearing that hat. They're just like shambling through the casino, and I'm just like, man, that is some diehard stuff.
Sometimes.
Yes, I mean,
I see it all the time still.
Oh no, the stuff I get is mostly anti-Biden stuff. It's like shirts of Biden looking like dazed, and then there's a caption like "This guy's a moron" or something, and all kinds of "Let's Go Brandon" merchandise, and some stuff that just goes the full nine and is actually the "Fuck Joe Biden" stuff.
You know why? It's because we have a bunch of Trump stores here. That's probably why. Look, I literally just went to one. Look at what I just got.
For those of you in the theater of the mind, Haley is showing us a weird, scrunchy Trump doll thing that is
his eyes pop out.
Actually,
squeeze it.
Yeah, the eyes bulge out of his head. He is actually the stuff of nightmares that we are looking at right now.
Isn't this sick?
I didn't know we were supposed to be describing stuff to our audience.
I'm sorry.
Haley is also 30 feet tall. I didn't think it mattered, but I guess we're just describing everything we see.
Yeah,
she's 30 feet tall and mostly made of fire.
Yes.
She's the Balrog.
And now to answer the question that people have been arguing about between book versus movie, Haley has wings. So Balrogs actually canonically have wings. Fuck off, everybody. So.
Yeah, suck it, nerd. It looks cooler that way anyway. Shut up.
Yes. Exactly.
I like how that was Steven Spielberg's answer for the big like continuity error with the T-Rex pins and having like a 30-foot drop down it. They were just like, hey, this doesn't make any sense. And he's like, it looks better that way. Shut up. Shut up. It's like, you know what? He's right. It's actually much cooler. There's a certain, like a sudden big 30-foot drop out of nowhere. It's just like, oh my God, the tension, a 30-foot drop out of nowhere, like adds to a scene.
Yes.
They should have done that to the lighthouse.
Yes. God.
Or the whale. That would have been a better, more recent pull. I was pulling from last year. This year they should have done it for the whale. And then all of a sudden, the whale just finds himself dropping 30 feet.
Take that, whale, you stupid whale.
How much of these things do you have any idea about what I'm talking about, Mike? Have you heard of the lighthouse or the whale?
I've heard of the lighthouse. I have no earthly idea about the whale. You had to, I mean, I do like that you were still. I do like that you were still playing along, but you had this glossy-eyed deer in headlights look about you. I was like, oh no, I'm in the weeds. I'm in the weeds for Mike. Do you know of the whale, Haley?
Are we talking about the lighthouse from BioShock?
No, although that is a much cooler lighthouse. We were talking about. I was wondering why you'd mentioned BioShock. No, the lighthouse was an art housey movie from like 2 years ago.
Oh, the Willem Dafoe one. That movie's so sick.
Yeah, Willem Dafoe and vampire guy who's also
I love
Batman,
mermaids.
whose name I can never remember.
He's the foot guy. His face looks like a foot. Robert Pattinson.
Yeah, there we go. Nailed it. And then the whale is part of the ongoing Brendan Fraser sance. It's his big like breakout like award-winning movie that's
I have
like
not
making
seen
the rounds
any
now.
new movies this year, and you just intrigued me. Are you telling me that Brendan Fraser is back?
Brendan Fraser is now like a beloved returned Hollywood icon.
I'm gonna
He's had
die.
like a great year. You should actually just look up the year that he's had or pretty much like the whole pandemic. Suddenly, all of a sudden, people were just like, it's great, Brendan Fraser. It's just so wholesome.
That's wild.
He got like a 6.5 minute long standing ovation or whatever when he went to some award show and he just started crying because he was so touched. It was very heartwarming.
Oh my god!
Hey, I'm here for that. So
my George of the Jungle.
Yes.
Yeah. He'll always be my heroic guy fighting a mummy. Screw you, Tom Cruise.
Oh my god, The Mummy was sick. I love that movie as a kid.
Yeah. The first Mummy is still great. Like, the first Mummy and the first Men in Black are both movies from sort of that era of filmmaking that are just like still perfectly good and just as fun today as they were back then. So there you go, listeners. We've fluffed ourselves long enough with some weird classic movie recommendations, I guess. Go rewatch Men in Black and The Mummy.
Yes.
And let's get back into.
I would highly recommend The Mummy. I liked that when I was a kid. I'm gonna rewatch that.
Dude, The Mummy slaps.
Yes.
I didn't like the second one though because they had that shitty kid.
Yeah, I mean, most movie sequels fall off a cliff.
Yeah,
they can't all be Aliens or Terminator 2.
No.
We should do the Mummy movie night.
Okay.
Mummy movie night. Oh God, my grades is taking it back. He's like, "What have you got me into?" Now I'm watching the Brendan Fraser classic, The Mummy.
Yeah,
I'm in for The Mummy.
Yeah.
A Knocks in a Moon.
I was going to say A Knocks in a Moon. I think that's how I discovered what a bisexual was when I was like 6. I was like, "What? Why am I feeling these things?" She's pretty.
Yeah, I can't remember, but like the love interest in that reaffirmed that I'm largely heterosexual at a very important time in my life.
And you know what? That movie also affirmed for all of us that we love Brendan Fraser.
That's true. I feel like now as an adult, if I went back and watched that movie, now I will be attracted to Brendan Fraser as well. At the time,
Right?
that wasn't my scene. I hadn't leveled up enough, but now I'm properly leveled up, and I could be like, you know what? Would for both of them.
Would.
Okay, now let's get into the amuse-bouche.
Fair.
It's time for a light sampling of insanity. Get ready for the amuse-bouche.
I didn't want to get us out of the fluffing segment of the show too quickly, but Mike, I have the answer for why you keep seeing those red MAGA hats floating around. That's because Americans love a loser. And nothing says American loser more than Confederate war monuments, some of the last of which are finally being torn down around the country, which is so weird because they got their asses paddled for treason a long time ago. So it seems like we shouldn't have had statues of them up to begin with, but what do I know? Anyway, Mike, this is coming up because I guess there's some news related to it. So what's going on with our beloved monuments to traitors?
So West Point, after doing a review, as all of these very slow-moving bureaucracies like to do, decided to start taking down statues and other memorials honoring Confederate generals at West Point's campus.
Okay, point number 1. Kind of weird for West Point to have statues or monuments up to the leaders of what at that like technically was a foreign army, or when they wanted to be a foreign army, right? That should when they went to do that, somebody should have been like, weren't they like the enemy generals of like an independent nation that was trying to like form? Should we put those up here? And they were just like, yeah, but dude, they were so white.
And also, like, we love slavers, right? And we're all in agreement with that, right?
Yeah,
That's what the sculptor was saying.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah,
They're just like, look, they did some bad stuff, but we can all agree they did own a lot of slaves. And they're all just like, they're nodding their head, just like, oh god, he brings up such a good point. They owned so many slaves.
yeah. Yeah, so and this is the thing, is that I saw this article from like Newsmax, some right-wing rag getting upset about this stuff, and I literally just like threw it into my timeline along with some QAnon folks reacting to it, being like, oh, these woke scum, oh, I can't believe they're doing this, so mean, so bad. And it was just like one of a million things. I'm like, oh, now I'm going to find something from Jack Posobiec. Now I'm going to go dunk on Praying Medic. Never in a million years did I think that this thing would get so much engagement. And I have so many people commenting in my timeline, like, this is history. Why are you trying to get rid of history? What's wrong with you? And like, and all this stuff, and just people, I don't understand how you can be this upset about this. Unless you just like openly want to admit that, like, yeah, I'm on Team Confederacy. I was in favor of the people that committed treason in defense of slavery. I'm on their team. Like any attempt to be like, oh, this is history. You're trying to whitewash what happened. Blah blah blah. It's like no. The Team Pro Confederacy are the whitewashers. They're the people that say shit like states' rights and all this other stuff. And like, it's like no, like. You people did a really bad thing, and you should not be honored for those bad things. I actually had one person post something like, "Oh, they were Americans, and just because they happen to be on the wrong side of things in the future doesn't mean." It's like, no. At the time, they knew that slavery was shit. It wasn't like it was like some sort of like, hey, maybe in 100 years, people will think slavery is bad. Who's to say?
Yeah, weirdly, some people cracked that one right away.
Slavery was bad.
They were just like, is this slavery thing all right? And other people were like, shut up. It's making us so much money. You shut your mouth.
Yes. Exactly.
How else are we going to build these pyramids? You shut it.
Yep, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's really wild that so many people still get upset about this and pretend that the reason why they're upset about it isn't because tributes to racists are being taken down. And it's just like, and I've had my favorite like attempted jujitsu on this argument is like, the Democrats are the party of the Confederacy and the KKK, and they're trying to get rid of their evil legacy. And it's like,
and also heritage, not hate. All right,
and the reverse.
Yeah,
and the reverse. It's like this is an attempt to get the Democrats to get rid of their evil evidence of their evil slavery-backed history, and also this is my history. This is me. It's like, well, whose is it? Is it the Democrats or is it yours? Was it Democrats walking into the White House with Confederate flags on January 6th? I don't think it was. For some odd reason, it's you guys that are always carrying those flags around. But the Democrats, they're the bad guys about slavery and the KKK. Why are you waving the flag of slavery and the KKK again? Why are you doing that? It just makes my head hurt, the like contortions and mental gymnastics these people do.
I was at the Trump store. I was at the Trump store and there was so much Confederate merch there. And one was a wallet. It was a Confederate flag wallet, but it also said "come and take it" on it, which I thought was funny for a wallet.
Steal my money.
That's a real mixed message. I'm assuming that like the inflection is supposed to imply a threat. Like, oh yeah, you want this? Come and take it. But
they're also packing. It's
but
fact.
like it's text, so I mean, depending on the context, like maybe if it was like in the pocket of somebody with visible firearm, then sure. But just laying on the counter of a place, it's like steal. It's like the cover of "Steal This Book." They won't stand for it. People will just be like, "Hey, I'm going to do it." If you get caught walking out of that store with one of those, you should legally be able to defend yourself with "it says take it" on it.
Yeah.
I was following the directions of the packaging.
I'm just imagining that store being like, "Hey man, we sold out of all those Confederate wallets." He's like, "What do you mean we've sold out? I haven't sold one this week." Well, we don't have any more.
And then instead of getting mad, he's just like, well, at least a lot of people are going to get the rebel spirit, and we're going to take our country back, and blah, blah, blah. I love Trump, so I have a store dedicated to him because that person's probably not some sort of grifty liberal. That'd be great.
That would be great.
Right after Biden got inaugurated, like Fox News had all these like stories about these like FJB stores opening up, and they're like, business is great. And I'm like, yeah, how long is that going to last? That's like having a store, it's having a story about a birds aren't real store, being like, oh my god, I'm selling so many birds are not real shirts. Holy shit!
Oh yeah, like the Flat Earth Emporium.
Yes,
like, you know what I mean? It's just like, yeah, a lot of people believe in that shit, but not enough to sustain a business long term.
No.
Somehow our Trump store has expanded, and now there's 3 here.
What's Arizona? I mean,
Yeah, fucking hell.
we had a Trump store near me. Like it was like on one of the highways. There was an actual Trump store, but it went away after like 5 months. Like weirdly, Massachusetts doesn't have enough MAGA QAnon lunatics in it to keep a store afloat for more than half a year.
Yeah, you'd have to bring that shit up to New Hampshire or Maine.
Yes,
They had a Trump toilet brush, and his hair was the scrubby.
It had to be. Oh, I would buy that. I would absolutely buy that.
Wanted to, so there was so much shit I wanted in there. There was like bandages that said "Make ouchies great again."
Wait, but wouldn't the peak form of an ouchie be like a very bad ouchie? That's the opposite of what I want my Band-Aid to do. I don't think that like the final form of an ouchie is it being healed. That would be like if your Charmander evolved into a Charmeleon and then it evolved into nothing.
The final form of an ouchie is an infection.
Yeah. It's just like, oh shit, your Charmeleon is evolving. You're sitting there like rubbing your hands together and licking your lips, and then it just disapparates, and you're like, what? What's going on?
No. I was in a like a supermarket, and I was in the I guess it was like the Band-Aid aisle basically, and they had kids Band-Aids, and I believe that they were all called like courage badges instead of Band-Aids. I was just like, that is
That's
incredible
nice.
branding. So I was like, hey, I'm here for it. I'm sure someone out there is very angry at this thing, but I'm not. That's very fun. That's very interesting. It's like if you're getting your shots, we were gonna put a little courage badge on there to show that you were brave and you took it like a champ, and now you're not gonna get measles because your parents aren't morons who want you to get easily prevented diseases because they've been pilled by the horrible and terrible internet. So, but yes, the Confederacy, even after 100 years after their crushing loss, still has a very vibrant fan base that is very upset when you bring up the fact that we should not celebrate their beloved heroes, also known as losers. So,
is the South still supposed to rise again? I can't remember.
Someday.
Did it rise again, and that was that, and then it went back to being unrisen once again, like a souffle or whatever?
Yeah, I think that's it. I think we're on the reflattening of the South.
Okay, well, speaking of something that was on the rise and now is quickly deflating, let's talk about Elon Musk. As I frequently do in our notes here, I just have it written down as Elon something something because that he's in a special brand of person who's just always in the news for some horse shit. Mike, what's the horse shit this week?
Well, right now, before we started recording, Elon decided to tread towards territory that is very much in the wheelhouse of Mysterious L, in that someone made a comment to Elon, and he replied to that person by saying, "You have tiny
with a gif of a
testicles."
sexy mom." Oh, sorry.
No, he said, "You have tiny testicles," which for Elon,
Projection.
yes, for Elon of the very strange penis, for him to go after somebody else's tiny testicles was particularly rich. That was
nobody quotes the full tweet, which was, "You have tiny testicles. I can smell my own." So, yes. In context, it makes a lot more sense, and it makes him look a lot worse, or a lot less worse, because he's just like he's like, "Hey man, you have small balls, and so do I, and I think we should get along."
Any word whether he saw any of his children for the holidays?
No, I don't believe so. I mean, literally, since he tried to claim that stalker who was going after Grimes was going after him, and that whole story has fallen apart. Yeah, doesn't seem like Elon's really got anyone around him to like stage an intervention or try to help him out any, because he's just going to shit post through all of this.
He's going to keck post.
Yes,
like this is 2016 4chan.
Yep. Yeah. He replied to somebody by saying "keck," which was, "Oh God, did QAnon's erogenous zones get triggered by the Elon keck tweet? Oh, Daddy said keck. Oh, it's happening. We're gonna be let back on Twitter any day now to call Chrissy Teigen cannibal."
I love how if he didn't already have like a big platform of idiots and like a bunch of pull because he's rich, he would just get dragged so hard online for his weak shit posting that he thinks is hilarious.
He's not funny.
No,
he's not funny.
He's not funny or clever, and the internet's been around for a long time. So there are ways to do it that people, like, you could tell when somebody is good at it. You know what I mean? Like Drill,
right?
Like Drill is hilarious, and it's weird because it shouldn't be funny.
Yeah. Yeah, just like knowing, like that's the kind of thing, is like knowing what will work as a shit post is something that takes time to craft. Like trying to figure out shit like that takes work. Elon just stealing memes from other people and then posting them and then being like, look how clever I am. I'm the smartest boy in all the land. And it's actually like, no, you're actually not. You're incredibly bad at this.
Yeah, he's like, hey, look at this Pepe that we've all seen.
Dude, I'm not gonna lie, the clothesline, like Magic Eye Pepe thing, I was just like, I wish that this wasn't like a racism thing, because otherwise this would be like a pretty clever composition.
Hey man, some Pepes are all right.
I'd be like, I would be into this if it wasn't like a Magic Eye poster for a racist.
Yeah, and then he also posted a meme of a person with all kinds of vaccines in them, and CNN, and a LGBTQ plus flag with a Muslim crescent on it for some reason.
Yeah, because if it was a Jewish star, it would be too fucking obvious.
Yeah, no kidding. And my favorite part of this is that you have the brainwashed person wearing the mask of all the vaccines and all that shit, and that person says they brainwashed you, and then basically the obvious stand-in for Elon is like, really? And on the
based guy.
Yeah, the based, and the bad person that Elon is mocking has Twitter's logo in their leg. Their leg has like Facebook and Twitch and YouTube, and it also has Twitter in the leg. So it's just like Elon's like, hey, the company I own, we're bad.
I just sent you an artist rendition of it where they're making out.
As well they should. Oh my god, that is oh man, it's just it is. What's really funny about Elon is that he is just a try-hard baby that wants to be cool so badly. And you just see this with so many people, like our boy QAnon John, who I bring up every now and then. QAnon John's is like a much tinier version of Elon that just wants to be cool. He has a little money, so he throws it around the QAnon supporters, and he's like, guys, can I be in the QAnon community? Can I be a cool bro? I'll call myself QAnon John and everything. And they take his money, and they're like, okay, John, you're part of the community. What's so funny is, like, if you look at his engagement compared to anyone else's engagement, it's so little. No one gives a fuck about that guy. They just want his money. So they just let him pretend like he's part of the club, and they get his money. And Elon, I mean, Elon's existence has just been this desperate need for people to like him. Like, he did that terrible stint on Saturday Night Live. He was on The Simpsons. He did Rick and Morty.
That's why this spiral is good for us. Because at some point, he will lose enough of his wealth where he will become desperate enough for attention, but still have enough of his wealth that he will be rich enough to pay us, that maybe it will be our time to shine. And then we can start getting fat stacks for being sycophants.
I'm here for it.
Our show has always been very upfront about how quickly we will sell out. And also like Elon Musk for the right I will sell out very fast, Elon Musk. If the
I do
price
not
is right.
support the statements of.
No. This is the regular HellwQrld crew, and not Haley. Haley has her own price, I'm sure. Maybe it's zero.
Yeah.
Maybe there's no price.
I have a price.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Not your price, but
what's going on right now is that Haley is negotiating. Me and Elle have already sold low. We've sold aggressively low.
Yeah.
Haley's like, I can get 4 times what these idiots are asking
Yeah.
for. They're selling themselves short. I know my worth. I know what Elon will pay for me to be a sycophant for him, because that dude's a billionaire and he's desperate. I mean, so.
But I feel like the higher payout you take, the harder it is to play off your selling out as being like an irony thing. It was like, it's for an ironic paycheck. Like, who can fault me? You know what I mean? Like, if you're paying. If you're putting yourself into the billionaire tax bracket and just immediately like 100% just being like, I am becoming the thing I hate, I would also accept that. Those are sort of my two terms. I want it to be low enough where I can be comfortable and still sort of like maintain some amount of credibility if I spin it right, which I think I could do. Or I want it to be like a filthy, just astonishingly filthy amount of money.
So Elle, how did you get your $1 billion?
Shut up, poor. I don't have to talk to you.
Exactly.
How did my security let you this close to me? You're all fired.
Exactly.
See, that's what I want.
Yes, that's the dream.
Anyway, speaking of the rock solid scruples of our guest host Haley, it wouldn't be a cause to have a guest host if not for needing to check up on the wonders of the Florida of the West, Arizona.
shout out.
Yeah.
So we're gonna start while we're still in the boosh before we get to more newsworthy items with Haley's trip to Americon.
America Fest. It's actually America
Fest?
Fest. Yeah.
You see, you called it Americon earlier.
Did I? I
didn't make that up.
I just woke up.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
well, America Fest. Not
Because I call it
Fascist
Fascist Con usually.
Yeah, so you just were like America Con, Fascist Con.
Yeah.
Did it.
Yeah, so for people who don't know what Turning Point USA is, it's Charlie Kirk's youth organization. Oh, can you hear the garbage can right now?
No.
Okay, good.
But basically Turning Point USA is like the low key Republican shit weasels, and they get harassed by Nick Fuentes' gripers a lot because they're like, "Hey, young guys, just become Nazis. Republicanism is lame. Go the full way." And
Yeah, this is like fancy conservatism. Like they're still shitheads, but they wear high heels and Tucker suits. And there's like
Again, America loves a loser.
Yeah.
That pitch is like, hey, why would you want to stick with this team of people who are still just in contention for winning because it's only a 2-party system and they're one of them?
Yeah.
And instead, why don't you join our club, which is based on a strong foundation of having our asses paddled 80 years ago?
Yeah. So like 10,000 kids, like it's mainly geared towards like teenagers and young adults, but like it fits like over 10,000. And the list was Charlie Kirk, Tucker Carlson, Donald Trump Jr., Candace Owens, Greg Gutfield, Laura Ingraham, Josh Hawley, Carrie Lake, Matt Gaetz, Newt Gingrich, Kayleigh McEnany, Steve Bannon, Dennis Prager, Lauren Boebert, Matt Walsh, Michael Knowles, Benny Johnson, Seth Dillon, Harmeet Dillon, Mike Lindell, Jimmy John, James O'Keefe, Jack Posobiec, a bunch of shitheads. You get to watch them all on stage. You get to take photos with them. You get to watch them, do their thing. It sucks. Did you see who was there? I sent you a photo.
Okay.
So usually it's like the Fox News lineup plus the other like Steve Bannon far right sphere.
Is that our boy Blake Masters? Or
no
it's Baby Q.
It's Baby Q. Look who I found.
It's Baby Q made it to the convention.
Yeah, Mel K was there too. She had a booth.
Oh God.
But yeah, Baby Q was walking around talking about like quantum physics.
Yes.
Wait, who the fuck is Baby Q?
Okay, so
Austin Steinbart.
Yep. So Baby Q, Haley named him as Austin Steinbart. He was a grifter, lunatic, shitweasel from about like 2 years ago, who jumped into QAnon, and his shtick was, I am Q in the future, sending messages back to all of us now in the past, and I am discerning my future messages from me to help lead the movement forward, to guide us. And
he went to jail.
Yeah, he went to jail because he is a fucking idiot. He stole shit, right? He just literally
he took photos of people's private medical information, and posted it online or something.
Yeah, that sounds right.
Yeah.
He actually did a real big boy crime.
Yeah, it was like a federal crime. He went to federal jail or someone,
Okay. So this crazy person was
also
there.
he tried to he tried to pass his drug test with a fake cock.
Oh yeah, he Wizinated. Yes,
yeah.
I remember the Wizinator story. Yeah. Oh, God.
So what was going on at America Fest?
You just watch the people speak about whatever the fuck they want to ramble on about, and then you go watch them give sessions where they tell a bunch of teenagers get married young, even if you can't afford it, have a bunch of kids, just have a bunch of conservative kids, and don't send them to public school, send them to Turning Point Academy, our school, the school that teaches you how to be a good little conservative. Yeah.
So it's basically a secular version of Quiverful.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. and one thing I love about that shit is it's just have a bunch of kids who are going to be struggling to make ends meet and resent you as parents, and then you try to brainwash them, and then they get into the real world and they realize you were fucking idiots. The whole idea, if you're actually economically stable and you can have a large family, you might be able to brainwash and pill your kids. But if you give your kids a shitty childhood, the brainwashing isn't going to take nearly as effectively, because your kids are going to be wait, my parents sucked, and all they ever did was rant about how Biden and Obama were the Antichrist.
Yeah. This is kind of the crowd that can afford to have kids, though. It's up to $750 a ticket for this shit.
God.
Yeah.
They have to be giving away some of those tickets.
They definitely
can you imagine
do.
The life
you can
you're leading?
Win them. Huh?
Can you imagine the life you're leading if you're some 18-year-old kid and your parents have probably spent $750 per ticket for you and hopefully not your girlfriend, but maybe your girlfriend or I guess significant other. In my mind, a conservative is just a white guy. Go figure. And you're paying $750 a ticket to go have somebody just be knock her up real good and real fast, over and over again all the time. Just keep knocking her up. Yeah, you're on the hook to pay for all those kids. You do it, you'll be fine.
Yeah, and ladies, barefoot and pregnant. That's your life. That's the way the Lord intended.
Women, I have no advice for you because I'm not supposed to talk to you. So I'm just gonna leave the room now. Yeah. I don't acknowledge your existence as a person. Yeah. See ya.
Yeah, last year, God, what's his fucking name? So one of the Fox News guys was talking about how he was kind of giving advice how to leave your older wife and get a younger one.
Jesse Waters.
Yes, yeah. It was him. Yeah, that was wild.
Yeah. Oh, was this the convention where Carrie Lake did the "Up Yours"? Is that where she did the rude gesture to the crowd to let everyone know how serious she is about the recount and stuff?
I don't think that was this. This is the one where she was like, "My pronouns are I won."
Oh yeah, that one. Yeah. Yeah, oh. Man,
my pronouns are blank.
Literally every single speaker made that joke.
The joke format that just never stops giving. It's just a nonstop laugh machine.
It's so fucking funny.
Yeah, I identify as an attack helicopter. That still kills, right? That still absolutely kills.
Yeah,
you said it wrong. It would be my pronouns are attack/helicopter.
Oh damn! Fuck. Oh man. I'm just looking at the Riverside has the generic soundboard, and I almost wanted to play a cheering or a rim shot after I made that joke to just really drive it home, but I didn't.
It's a real shame that we're not gonna get the I would love a George W. Bush fumbling to get through one of those punchlines during a news cycle or whatever, an alternate dimension where he's the candidate right now. He's just
My pronouns are he / wait, damn it.
Oh God. I will say that given Trump's current brain capacity, if he ever goes for the pronoun joke, we might get it from him because oh God. Apropos of nothing, but I just wanted to stick this in real quick. There was like a 5-minute video of him whining about the January 6th committee, and there was like over like 13 cuts. Like you could just see like they just had like camera 1, it was like straight on, and then camera 2 was like in tight, and then it would just go back to camera 1, and they just kept cutting and cutting and cutting from the 2 camera shots, and I was just like, this is 5 minutes. How the fuck can this guy not get through 5 minutes at this point?
And he loved her sweet can. Yes. Her sweet can.
It was not that bad, but on a scale of 1 to 10, it was solid 7. I mean, it was just like, oh man. I can't imagine being like a producer on a Trump video and being like, oh, Donnie, we're gonna need another take there. He's like, what do you mean we need another take? I'm killing it. And they're like, Donnie, you started ranting about fucking onions again. I don't know what's wrong. And the faucets with the weak water that you get so upset about all the time. Can we rein it in a little? He's like, no, I'm dumb and old and angry and was the president once. It's like, oh my God.
I'm assuming that if he's complaining about water being weak, he means the pressure, and it's just because his tiny, weak hands can't turn the knobs any harder.
Yes.
His water pressure is so weak. It's like nobody has the heart to tell him he's just too weak to turn the knobs. Poor guy. Poor guy with his tiny hands.
Oh, that little scamp.
Anyway, if you guys thought that we were done talking about Arizona, you'd be sorely mistaken. That was just the tip of the Arizona iceberg, you perverts. Anyway, let's get into our headline news segment.
From the digital headlines to the digital front lines, it's Q's in the news.
America loves a loser. I've said it twice already, and I'll say it a third time, because we're leading off with Arizona's own favorite, Carrie Lake. Well, yeah, we're talking about her.
It's the loser episode.
Yeah, and she's here to tell you that she did not lose. Haven't you heard what her pronouns are?
Exactly.
So for more on Carrie Lake being a huge loser, we'll turn it over to Mike and special flaming butthole of America, Arizona correspondent Haley. Yeah. Arizona Right Wing Watch. What's going on in that crater?
Yeah. I'll let Haley just take a start here.
Carrie lost. I don't know if everybody heard. And guess what? She lost again.
Yeah.
She lost her case where she was claiming she actually won. She had the Cyber Ninja attorney representing her, so it was gonna go fucking well. But she's appealing, even though she was threatened with sanctions, but she just has to pay fines. She has to keep paying fines for all these cases that she's been bringing because they're frivolous and bullshit.
I heard that she didn't get nailed for the full sanction. She only got nailed for paying for Hobbs's experts.
Yeah, she doesn't have. They're not being sanctioned, but she has to pay all the money back, which means Mike Lindell has to pay all the money back.
Yeah, I love the idea of Mike Lindell just being this giant font of money for right-wing grifters, and he just doesn't see it. He just can't wrap his head around the fact that it's like, no, Mike, they're just stealing from you. Like, none of these people actually think they're going to win anything. They're just taking your money because you buy into this shit so wholeheartedly and don't see that you're being fleeced.
Yeah, so she's appealing her case that she got in trouble for filing. Yeah. Yeah. And she said at America Fest she's going to take it all the way to the Supreme Court. So she loves to lose. That she loves losing. We're going to see her lose at least 2 more times, which I think is kind of fun.
I don't see how the Supreme Court can hear her case because this is entirely a state-based election.
Yeah, the AZ Supreme Court.
Oh,
she's going to appeal it to the AZ Supreme Court.
Okay, yeah. And they'll tell her to pound sand because last I checked,
corrupt judge.
We are recording this on the 28th, and Katie Hobbs will be sworn in as governor on January 4th. So the clock is really ticking on this. This is moving pretty quickly. I remember one of the funniest things I saw in a desperate attempt to defend Carrie Lake was Praying Medic was like, there was one time in Arizona Arizona where they had a governor for a year before the other person who actually won the election became governor. So, hey, don't be too worried about anything happening right now. And it's like, if you actually read the story, like that was a legitimate case where there was all kinds of weird voter fraud bullshit going on, and they literally had a year to sort it out. Whereas right now, Lake has no evidence of anything. Literally, like all her case was is there were long lines. Did all those people end up voting anyways? Well, yeah, but so they voted. They were not disenfranchised, were they? But they were sad when they voted. Do sad votes count less? Well, no. Well, then they weren't disenfranchised and you got their votes anyways. You still lost. Fuck off.
Yeah, so there's this thing called the Box 3 conspiracy.
Oh, yeah. I've heard of the legend of Box 3.
Yeah, so the legend of the Box 3 is that the people whose ballots weren't being read on the day of had to put it in Box 3 for it to be read later at the tabulation center. And you know what that fucking means.
Right in the shredder.
Yeah, right in the shredder.
Yeah. What was the name of the attorney general guy who lost by like 500 votes?
His name is Abe Hamadeh. Ibrahim.
Yeah. So because Abe filed a lawsuit that was dismissed within like almost an hour. Like they presented their case with like one witness.
Yeah.
And then the judge looked at them and was like, That's what you woke me up for. That's what I came in. I had to put this fucking robe on, and I had to make a bailiff yell, "All rise!" when I walked in here to listen to this one jamoke not say anything, and then walk off the stand. And you fucking did this. And Abe's attorneys and Abe were like, "Yeah, how'd you like it, Judge?" And the judge was like, "Didn't like it all. Case dismissed. Get the fuck out of here." So like that was at least Lake's judge actually like took like a couple days to like make his ruling. That guy was just literally like, "Get the fuck out, you morons."
Yeah, Hamadeh, he tried to file initially too early, so his case was initially thrown out. And then like if you read it, it literally says like, "We are not alleging fraud," like right in the opener. So it's like, yeah, get this shit out of here.
We're not alleging that we lost due to cheating. We are just sad that we lost, and we wish for a judge to make us not lose.
Mark Fincham is also he's also been challenging his massive loss.
It's really incredible when you are such unbelievable pieces of shit that you make Blake Masters look good by comparison. The fact that Blake Masters was like taking the L, just lost, moving along the way normal politicians do when they lose an election, just calling it a day. It's like, holy shit, when you can't follow the high road of Blake Masters, who is just like a cyborg monster.
He's weird.
Yeah, just a dude that will literally say fucking anything if he thinks it'll get him a vote. When that guy is just a standard you can't hold yourself to. It's like, wow, you're the worst.
There's always a bigger fish, Mike.
Yeah.
Lake was telling the teenagers at America Fest to donate to her legal fund, which I thought was funny. She even said, like, "I know you might not have the money, but you should donate anyway."
When you're not busy knocking up your girlfriends, you should be giving me your money.
When you're not busy knocking up your girlfriends to have babies that you can't afford, well, you know what else you can't afford? Giving me money. Do it anyways. Your future babies don't need that money. I do. Oh my God. It's just the right-wing ideology is literally just a fireplace full of money being thrown into it. And then those people screaming, "Do it, sucker. Throw it in there." Look, Elon's doing it. He's loving it. Elon's just shoveling $100 bills into the fireplace. This is great.
Yeah, I mean, well, look at what shoveling all that money into a fireplace is doing for Elon. The more money he hemorrhages, the more unhinged and conservative he becomes.
Yeah.
It cost him $40 billion or whatever, but now he's finally bought himself like deep enough into the rabbit hole to be kecking. Now he's like, keck.
He's kecking.
She's Pepe Pog, am I right? Flossing dance, Fortnite, I'm hip.
Oh, God. Tesla stock is rebounding to a crisp $113.
Ooh, bring it down.
It's 113. So it started the year at 400. So I mean, just don't, Jesus Christ, it is. like it's really funny that like the odds that it will hit double digits rather than get to 200, which will mean it only lost 50% of its value over the course of a year, is impressive. I mean, just good Lord. The thing is that literally Tesla stock was all based on vibes. It was all based on Elon's a genius and he's going to have self-driving cars and he's going to create these batteries that last for forever and all this stuff. And
tunnels,
Oh yeah, the Hyperloops. Oh, he's going to invent the subway. Isn't that already invented because you just called it a subway? Shut up! Elon's going to invent the Ultra Subway. Oh, okay. I'm sorry.
It's a Hyperloop. It's different.
Yeah. Yeah, he's truly the greatest of us. And he didn't actually invent the Hyperloop. He was literally just doing that so he could kill mass transit projects in those cities. So, yeah, fuck that clown.
I mean, hey, he wanted to dig tunnels. That was what he really wanted to do.
Yes.
He's a guy who likes a nice big powerful drill, like just penetrating the earth. Yeah. And in order to promote it, I'm going to build a flamethrower and it's got a nice big round tip on the end of it. And it shoots real far. Yeah. God. And when I'm not doing that, I'm going to shoot big rockets and just yeah. Oh, big rockets. Oh, yeah.
And no, I don't have a 3-inch penis. I'm packing.
Don't worry about my deformed small penis.
Don't worry about it. The terrifying thing that anyone could identify at a glance.
Yeah, well, that's because in his defense, it does look like Cerberus.
Yes.
3 short, stumpy heads, writhing and snarling.
Yes. Oh, God.
Gross.
Yeah, but Elon, you can stop us at any time.
$1 million United States dollars will unlock. It gets you a premium
1
podcast
million.
experience.
That's it.
Yes.
Well, that's just for us to stop talking about his gross penis.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. The actual simping was a much higher charge. But...
Yeah, but this is just it's like the battle pass option. You
Yeah,
unlock your
there's
battle
tiers.
pass, and we just stop talking about your gross dick.
Yes.
Because again, if it was huge, we would know it. He would have been like, I bought Twitter, and as my first actor, here's my huge hog.
Hunter Biden ain't got shit on me.
Yeah, look at my massive wag. I'm like 2 Idris Elbas over here.
That'd have been the number. That would have been part 1 of the Twitter files. The Twitter files: Hunter Biden versus me. Advantage Elon. Yeah.
And dude, if Q would have ate that shit up, they'd be like, "Wow, look, Daddy is packing heat."
Daddy.
Yep. Oh God. I mean, the fact that they literally call Trump daddy or the boss all the time lets you know that they are just the absolute most beta human beings that have ever lived. They're just so totally subservient. They just want their massive leader to cuck them so aggressively. Please, daddy, just rule me. Just crush the deep state for me, daddy. I can't do anything for myself.
Honestly, I think what most of these like conservative Trump simps really would love in their heart of hearts is like a Yakuza relationship. I think they just want to be like in a quiet masculine group where the power dynamic is essentially just one alpha male with a pack of subservient beta males who treat him as like a weird homoerotic father/lover or whatever.
That sounds right to me.
/ mentor. And then they just learn life lessons from him about how being hard is great, and they never think about him sweaty in the bath.
Oh God. It's just really amazing that we're just, I don't know, stuck in this crazy world where these idiots are just like, they're so enamored of their heroes, and they have this. The right-wing celebrity worship is just the weirdest thing, and yet whenever you go on all of these people's timelines, they're like, "Oh, look at this dumb celebrity saying we should treat people fairly. Who listens to celebrities? They're so stupid." Meanwhile, they're like celebrating Carrie Lake, who was literally just a news anchor lady who then ran for governor on a mantra of "I hate liberals, they're bad." Yeah.
They like Kevin Sorbo posting they.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like celebrities are stupid, but Kevin Sorbo is the greatest.
Yeah, don't listen to celebrities except for ours. You know, heavy hitters like Roseanne and Kevin Sorbo. And that lady from that Star Wars show,
James Woods.
Gina Carrero, or what's her name? Anybody?
And Rob Schneider. Oh, they love Rob Schneider.
Oh my god,
dude,
he lives
he's
here. Oh my god,
funniest comedian in the business. We all know it.
He actually campaigned with Kerry.
I don't doubt it. Oh, of course he fucking did.
Yeah,
America loves a loser. That's
he has me
4.
blocked because I called him out. I just tweeted about him because he held this like sovereign citizen paid Telegram seminar with this sovereign citizen grifter here. And I thought that was wild, so I posted about it, and he fucking blocked me for it.
Rob Schneider, I'm calling you out with an offer. $10,000, I'll never talk about you again because I don't care about you enough. But
and maybe he's got 10 grand. Maybe if he's lucky.
I mean, that's why the figure's low because
right.
I want to get. I'm not sure how much he can hit up Adam Sandler for it at a given moment. I don't want to push the boundaries.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's move on from talking about
the stapler
being the worst, and let's get into headline pants on fire news. We're talking about George Santos, and I guess George Santos is a nice big liar, is a lying liar. Mike, remind everybody who George Santos is, and tell us what he was lying about and why Fox News hates him now.
Well, the answer about what he was lying about was literally everything. George Santos is a congressman-elect in New York who apparently faked literally every detail of his personal biography. And he claimed to be a gay Jewish immigrant. He's probably an immigrant. That's maybe the one thing that's actually honest about him. But and he had lots of campaign materials stating that he is an American Jew and proud of it. And then people were like, actually, no.
Didn't he claim his grandparents were like in the Holocaust?
I think so. I mean,
he took it pretty far.
Yeah, he went everywhere with it.
Hey, wait, well, just because they're not Jewish doesn't mean that his ancestors were not in the Holocaust. If
that
you
is
catch
true.
my drift.
Yes. But when eventually, these stories started breaking, and then Santos came out with a thing saying, give me a week and I will address all of these controversies. And people were like, why do you need a week? What is holding you back from talking right now about this stuff? Are you trying to come up with some shit? And at some point in this conversation, he actually went for the zinger. He said, I didn't say I was Jewish. I said I was Jew. Like line-ish. And it was like, ooh, boy, what are we doing here?
Like Jewish.
Yeah.
It's like a Seinfeld bit.
Yeah.
Wow, that is astonishing. It took me a while to understand what was happening when Mike described it, and then once I realized what the punchline was, I was like, oh no. I never said I was Jewish. I said I was Jewish. Yeah.
Get it? Waka waka.
Jazz hands.
It was a joke that just went too far.
And also, again, one of the other things that he did during this campaign was proudly promoting the fact that he was a gay Republican, showing the inclusion and diversity of the Republican Party. And it came out that maybe a week or maybe a few days before he declared his candidacy, he got a divorce from his wife, who was a woman. So
he could be a little bisexual.
He could be bisexual.
Yeah, that doesn't make him not gay. Maybe he discovered he was gay after he got married. That does, in fact, just happen to people sometimes.
It could, but I'm just saying, given...
In the context of all the other lying, it seems pretty sus. But that is a thing that could... Yeah, you just be hey, man.
You gay?
Yeah.
That's it. That seems like it would be rude. Just try to honeypot him. Just try to proposition him.
Yeah.
Just be like, hey, I hear you're going through a rough divorce, and that's unfortunate. Would you like to touch my butt? And see how he reacts. Because who could possibly resist the allure of my grace?
No one can. I am quite irresistible.
You are our sexual operative. You're like our Black Widow.
I really...
Hot.
When you need to fight somebody, your go-to move is wrapping your thighs around their neck and flipping them.
Yeah, I am much well trained in the art of lucha libre, and I can hit a Hurricane Rana very effectively. And by that I mean I would probably die if I attempted such a maneuver.
Yeah, you're our sexy Rey Mysterio.
That's me. request for fan art of me wearing a Rey Mysterio mask now. Please get on that, everyone.
And just like Donald Trump, he's shredded. Like,
God.
I mean,
again,
I forgot we're supposed to be describing how people look at that. Hey, Mike Raines, picture a Greek statue. No, a better one, and it's come alive.
You look like a statue that Elon would retweet.
Absolutely, yes.
Hot, buff.
with an incredibly tiny penis.
Yeah, but not that. You're packing. We know it's fine.
I also love that. Like the Greeks, like the ancient Greeks, cared so little about dick size that they immortalized it in marble.
Yeah,
like all those dudes are like shredded like Adonises, and then you get to their package, and it's just like, oh, okay. Well, I mean, I feel like if I was going to be doing like an artistic representation, maybe I would enhance certain elements of it. It makes you wonder. It's just like, well, is the rest of this just like photo accurate? Is it really? I mean, was this guy really just? I mean, good for him. He put the work in.
Yes. He was putting the work in to compensate for his. I do hope he was a grower, not a shower, because yeah. Like,
worry not about the spear of Achilles. Anyway. So George Santos, he lied about everything.
He's Jewish, which I think is offensive. If he's not actually Jewish, like, what did you mean by it then?
Right.
He's like, in some ways I'm like a Jew.
What ways, George? Oh, the Jewish ways. What? Do you sit Shiva? Do you, like, celebrate, like, Hanukkah? Like, how are you Jewish?
It's going to be something super offensive.
Oh, yeah. So to let you know how fucked this guy is, the people defending him include Jack Posobiec, who is an absolute worthless stack of shit.
I just saw him at America Fest.
Yes. And, and the people condemning him are Fox News, who for some reason decided to bring their hit woman, Tulsi Gabbard, in to be the heavy for her interview with Santos. And she basically just ran him over. I mean, this was like, if you're Santos and you're going on Fox News for the interview, you're like, okay, they're going to like softball it. They're going to let me kind of like start to build the foundation of like my lies that are going to get me through this. I'm going to keep my head down through 2 years of Congress and hope everything works out and I can get reelected. But Tulsi Gabbard was just like, hey, George, you lying sack of shit. Why are you lying so much? And he's like, this is Fox. What are you doing to me, Tulsi? And she's like, I'm doing to you what Murdoch told me to do to you. That's hang you out to dry, idiot. You should probably resign now, because if you don't, you're losing a Republican primary in 18 months. You fucking guarantee that shit.
He's
idiot.
getting Madison Cawthorned.
Yes, he's absolutely getting the aggressive Cawthorn. So yeah, this is a man who is not long for the political sphere. He definitely will be able to make money as a right-wing grifter at some point once this all blows over. But until then...
You can tell his joke.
Yes.
Yeah, and it couldn't have happened to a nicer guy. Oh, wait a minute. No, he's terrible. And he deserves much more than he's getting, which is simply like, they're just like, hey, we're taking back all the stuff you got from lying about your whole identity, really.
Yeah.
I'd love to talk to his wife.
Yes.
Mostly just because I'm into divorcees. But in addition to that, I'd love to ask her some questions about the nature of their relationship. Maybe over some drinks. Because I want to be like, do you think that maybe he's secretly gay? Or was the stress of him lying about that and a billion other things what did you in?
We'll never know. We'll never know.
Or maybe we will. Maybe she'll do a tell-all. That'd be great.
I'm rooting for it. I hope, Mrs. Santos, you have a standing invitation to the podcast. We would love to have you.
Oh, you better believe it.
Yes.
Okay, so that's our lying liar news.
He's
for the
Jewish.
Week. Yeah, no more liars to talk about. Just rounding out the day with straight shooter Tucker Carlson, and straight shooter Tucker Carlson has apparently been going down the old rabbit hole of conspiracy theories, which happens to be one Mike Raines' total wheelhouse and bag.
Yes.
So, Mike, talk to us about this Christmas miracle of Tucker Carlson going down the conspiracy rabbit hole.
So recently there was another tranche of documents released by the JFK Assassination Review Board, but there were still more that are being withheld. And
man, we're really going back to the classics, huh?
Yes,
it's like sampling. It's like how that Running Up That Hill song became like a chart-topping hit this year because or last year or whatever because of fucking Stranger Things.
Yes. So Tucker claimed, and this was his big payoff to this segment was, I talked to somebody who saw these documents, and I asked that person, did the CIA kill Kennedy? And that person said, fuck yeah, they did. Totally blew his head off. 100% CIA. So Tucker's anonymous source who saw the documents, quotation marks, went to Tucker and was like, yep, CIA totally murdered Kennedy. And then they proceeded to go after, like, they're like, now if you're the head of the CIA, you're a bad person, and so this person's bad. And Mike Pompeo, you got some questions to answer, buddy. What's going on with you? You probably covered up the murder of the president at some point. And QAnon, on the one hand, was like, Kennedy murder, good, because we want people talking about how the CIA did it, but going after Pompeo, bad. So, but QAnon got over that very quickly by forgetting that Tucker went after Pompeo and then immediately just decided to be like, we're just going to be so happy that Tucker did this. I saw one QAnon promoter post something and he said, direct quote was, now that it is a fact that the CIA killed JFK. And I was like, Tucker can just now create reality with the power of his voice and his message. Tucker can just be like, and another thing, by the way, Fox News stock is now triple in value. Boom! I'm now a trillionaire. Success. He can just shape the world with his mind, and so now it is just official because Tucker said so. The CIA absolutely 100% killed Kennedy.
It's true.
I mean, I'm not. Here's my hot take: is that it would be interesting to learn if any of the conspiracy theory stuff surrounding JFK was true, but it's hard to care too much about it, even if it was, because everyone involved is dead.
True.
Like, everybody who would have been involved back then, like, that was, 70 years ago? So if they were just, like, anything older than 20, they are very likely dead by now.
Oh yeah, all the people that like when you're in the weeds on this shit and you actually name names, you're like, oh, it was Alan Dulles and Richard Nixon and Lyndon Johnson. It's like they're all dead. So what we can't dig them up and throw them in jail. I mean,
yeah, what are we gonna do? Kick open the doors of the CIA and just be like, we know that you did it, and they're gonna be like, this is a place where people work, and people that worked here 70 years ago did it, and what are we supposed to do about it exactly?
And this is what leads to the whole Illuminati thing, is the people who killed Kennedy one day, like, went to their, the people they were training, and they're like, okay, guys, we murdered the president in 1963, so you guys need to up your game, and I don't know, sometime in the early 2000s, you should probably blow up the World Trade Center or something. You guys got to do something, make your mark on the world. You got to do your CIA attack on America terrorism plan in order to, like, spice things up and make sure everyone knows the CIA is terrible and evil.
Yeah, it's like every few years the CIA has to, like, blood itself. It has to, like, jump itself into a gang that is comprised of itself.
Yes.
The Illuminati's just like, hey, man, you got to pay the toll. You got to do some fucked up shit.
Well, I actually went to The Thing this week. It's a roadside Arizona attraction at a large Shell gas station / Dairy Queen. And it's a big attachment to the gas station that's like a alternative history little walkthrough kind of dark ride type of deal.
Yeah.
And it's it claims that aliens are responsible for Kennedy and also 9/11 and also basically civilization. And so I think it was aliens.
Going Agent Aliens is awesome.
I highly recommend The Thing if you ever pass through Tucson at the Thing / Shell gas station / Dairy Queen.
It's just hard to understand why an alien civilization with the means to intervene at all would intervene in such a minor way
No,
I
they
feel like-
intervene in like literally our entire. They are the reason for our existence, according to the thing. They invented our civilization. They are our reason for living. They are the reason we are breathing. All right.
Yeah, but we fuck up a lot. And
Yeah,
we're
they're
endangering-
responsible for a lot of. It was a really intricate little ride. It was like they took responsibility for some things. They altered history. They did 9/11, which I really can't stress enough.
What, did they explain why they did 9/11?
No, they were just like, let's throw 9/11 there in the end.
The aliens decided to just do a weird thing where they just re-stoked American bigotry against Muslims and did a terrorism.
They also had they had this huge setup where it was like an alien in a Rolls Royce driving Winston Churchill.
That makes sense.
Yeah. The thing.
Yes. Have you ever done Denver Airport?
No.
Okay, because I mean, the Illuminati people fucking love Denver Airport.
I'm gonna have to go.
Yeah.
What's there? A big triangle?
It's every, like, if you just, like, if you do a Google search, like, there's all this kinds of stuff. And then, like, a few years ago, when they were renovating Denver Airport, they just leaned aggressively into it. Like, all of, like, the areas that were being renovated, they had, like, aliens and Illuminati symbols everywhere. And they're like, what's going on over here? Is it a conspiracy? Or is it us just trying to get you, like, better service that'll be here soon? The truth will be revealed. Like
Mike, you should anonymously tip them off that Kansas City's airport is getting renovated, which I found out about a few months back when I traveled out there. And then you should make up some hokum about how it's connected.
I just sent you some of the thing.
I'm pretty sure that all of these airports are at some point going to create the big transmutation circle that the evil guy is going to use to try to make the Philosopher's Stone. Turns out that the secret ingredient is human souls. What a racket!
Oh God. The ultimate scam.
Okay. Do we want to stop talking about scams, both Tucker Carlson and Full Metal Alchemist, and to get into our listener mailbag for the week?
That seems like a reasonable thing to do.
Our listeners got questions. We got answers. It's time for Q&A.
Okay, so I'm going to reverse order this week and just go right to Chairman Walkman's delicious list of questions. And the question for the week is pork roll or Taylor ham?
Pork roll.
I don't know what we're talking about.
Me neither. I just like the word pork roll. It sounds cute.
I think there's like there was a controversy. I think this might be one of those like controversial food subjects where it's like a regional food thing and two people call it a different thing.
Oh, okay. Let's see. I don't know it either.
Yeah. Yep, that is what it is. I'm looking up now, and it is a thing where Taylor's ham is one option, or pork roll is the other one.
Well, what is it?
Well, it says, why does North Jersey call it a Taylor ham?
Oh, it's a sandwich.
Yeah, it's a sandwich.
Okay.
Oh, it looks good.
As somebody who has no skin in the game whatsoever, so just a regular consumer, aka the perfect person to be polling about this, pork roll is a better name for whatever this is.
I like pork roll also.
Yeah.
What the fuck is a Taylor ham?
Well, apparently the guy who quote unquote invented the pork roll called it a Taylor ham because his name was Taylor. So,
I mean, that's cool and all,
cred,
but it turns out
cred.
I mean,
it's like he signed the sandwich.
We need to acknowledge, I feel like we need to acknowledge it in the history books, but I feel like the market determines what the actual name of this thing is, and it seems like the people changed its name to pork roll, right?
That's true.
Because Taylor ham doesn't sound like a sandwich; it sounds like a full ass ham.
And you know what they say about art? Once you put it out there, it's up for interpretation.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry, mate. If you think you've got it bad, talk to the person who invented the GIF. Because they were very specific about, hey, it's GIF. And then everyone else on Earth, myself included, was just
I don't listen.
Go fuck yourself. It's GIF. Because graphic starts with the sound G. And that's just the way it is.
Yes. Yeah, sorry, buddy, you lose. Yeah, so apparently, the pork roll was invented in 1856 by John Taylor of Trenton, and it was sold as Taylor's prepared ham until 1906. So he was, but unfortunately, Taylor, you're no longer part of the pork roll. You're out of the game, buddy.
No. He's a very important part of the pork roll as the inventor, which we acknowledge in the history books and
he lives
in
on.
The long-standing history of the pork roll, where it all started as the humble Taylor ham,
Yes.
and then became the pork roll that we all know and love today.
Yeah.
Every time you eat a pork roll, you're eating a little bit of Taylor.
Yes.
Yeah, you're eating a little bit of Taylor's ham.
Taylor's prepared ham, I'll have you know.
Pork roll sounds delicious, though.
It really does look good.
Even before I knew what it was, I was just like, I know which one of those two things sounds better. It's pork roll, for sure.
Yes.
Just a simple little sandwich.
Yeah. So Eric Hayden asks, what was your favorite gift you've ever received for any celebration of any kind?
I tragically don't have it anymore, but one Christmas my friend got me a very crappy copy, but a copy nonetheless, of Fantastic Four #5, which is the first appearance of my favorite comic book character, Doctor Doom. So he had gotten his hands on this incredibly ratty version of this comic, and I had it for many years before at some point I had to sell it to make ends meet, because as we went over earlier, I am poor. Yeah, it was very thoughtful, and also like worth a decent amount, even in the condition it was in, and now worth many times more than what I had to sell it for, unfortunately.
Oh, of course. Oh my God, I sold so many Magic cards that are now worth trillions by comparison. It's sickening to think about. And I had a few friends that were into the Magic the Gatherings before they even like all the price guides came out, and oh my God, the stuff they had was just could have been a pretty penny if they held on to it, but them's the breaks.
What's your favorite gift ever made?
I was thinking about this, and I think like probably my favorite gift ever was when I got my first Nintendo for like Christmas, and just started me down the path of just loving video games like for forever. Because I was just like, man, I remember just Mike Tyson's Punch-Out, just being addicted to it. I'm trying to remember. My friend could not beat King Hippo. When I would let him play, he would have to tag me in for that fight, and then he could win a couple fights after that. But I was the first one to defeat Mike Tyson of the two of us. But and eventually he figured out King Hippo.
I got a Nintendo pretty early in my life, like pretty close to right after it was released, because I was born the year it came out in '85.
Yeah.
So it was like '88 or whatever. I remember getting my first one, and man. My parents didn't have a lot of money, so the only game that we got was the pack-in, which was the 2-pack of Duck Hunt / Mario Brothers. But I played the fucking shit out of those games. Boy, howdy. And when I wasn't playing those games, the Nintendo Blaster made just like an incredibly fun toy gun to just run around zapping stuff with. So shout out to Nintendo for making a fun toy gun.
Yes.
How about you, Haley? What's your favorite gift ever?
Well, I don't have any like sick ass kid memories because I was raised Jehovah's Witness, so no birthdays, no Christmas.
That is a bummer.
My gift was escaping the scope.
All my dope gifts came when I was an adult, and I bought them my fucking self. When I was 10, actually, okay, so when I was 10, my mom must have thought it was like a big deal that I was like turning 10 because it's like a decade, you know? And she actually did throw me a birthday party, and like a few of my friends came over, and we like went to the park and like the movies and shit. But when they started coming over, it was my birthday, and they started coming over, and I was like, what the fuck is going on, dudes? I don't celebrate my birthday. Like, you gotta go. And they're like, no, we were invited.
You were like, hey, this is pretty thoughtful, but also incredibly thoughtless.
Yeah, like, you guys gotta get the fuck out of here. It's my birthday.
Leave your presents and get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, but it was actually a surprise from my mom, so I think that was actually the most memorable birthday because it was my only birthday.
I mean, hey, that's
the one that I actually celebrated as like a kid. I celebrate my birthday now like by getting a drink, but nothing exciting.
One of the things I get at my friends for their birthday every year now is I give them a free pass for me to play and try my hardest at one of the board games that they love that I hate. Because we all have many varied tastes, and a lot of it aligns, but every once in a while, like one of my friends really likes Scythe, and I think Scythe is kind of butt. But once a year she can pull her card and just be like, as my birthday wish, it is time for some scythe. And I'll be like, that is the way it goes. Let's scythe it up. I'll make time for it and everything.
How long does a game of Scythe take? I've never played it.
Like 2-ish hours. But it's faster if everybody knows what they're doing. But since I only play it once a year, I don't really know what I'm doing, and I'm still very bad at it.
Yeah, maybe one day I'll be really bad at it with you as well. I will tag myself in for your Scythe penance.
I'm gonna bring a scythe. I'm gonna bring like a scythe like pitch hitter for me.
Yes,
like, I'm technically living up to my obligation, but also I don't have to play it. I'll just watch while you do it, and I will, get intoxicated or worse.
So thank you for the question. Placeholder asks, who is the next writer conservatives and libertarians will think is a lefty, but lefties don't think they're a lefty, that will do the Twitter files? I can't believe that Glenn Greenwald hasn't done one yet. It is absolutely Glenn. Literally, they have people I've never heard of doing this shit, and the fact that they're up to like part 9. I mean, like, there is so nothing going on with this shit.
Jimmy Dore will do one.
Oh god. Jimmy Dore, oh god! If Elon's going to buy out Rumble or something, and that will be the announcement. It'll be like part 14 of the Twitter files will be Jimmy Dore on Rumble, explaining the latest bullshit hobby horse thing that conservatives were mad about Twitter about back when Jack owned it and not when Elon owned it.
Posobiec will get one.
Oh well, Posobiec's not a fake lefty.
He'll just get one.
I know he'll get one.
It'll be yeah.
Oh god, it is so funny to me how desperate they are to make this matter. Elon posted another meme. Like, he had the meme of the woman like showing herself to the priest who was praying.
Yeah.
Back when he was begging Trump to tweet on Twitter, and then like a couple of days ago, or it may have been just like yesterday, he had the thing of like the mainstream media like not looking at the Twitter files, and it was like a Lakers cheerleader dancing and a guy at the sidelines not looking at her. And it's just like, Elon is the thirstiest motherfucker in the world, and apparently he thinks everybody's like super hard up as well. He's like, oh man, there's nothing more awesome than a meme of a hot chick and a guy like not wanting to like get with her because that's weird and stuff. Like, if you're a guy, you have to just be a sexual omnivore, and when you see a hot woman, you just have to start drooling, and your eyes got to bug out of your head like you're a cartoon.
Awooga.
Yeah. You gotta tug on your collar and have some steam shoot out. I mean, it's just all of that. I mean, that's how the dames get us going. Am I right, guys? Am I right? Oh god. So,
dude, if there's one thing I hate, it's those dames.
Yes. Yeah, so I mean, he's run the gauntlet of fake lefties at this point, and I love that Bari Weiss like posted the most mild criticism of him, and immediately like Elon unfollowed her. She got kicked out of the club. She can't do the Twitter files anymore.
He hit her with that 3 responses too, like an hour apart each. She was like, "Answer me, Barry."
Yeah. Oh yeah, like not bringing Elon back up. That thread of like Medvedev where he was just like, America will fall in the civil war and Elon will become the president of its wreckage. And Elon was like, fucking awesome, bro. And then like 4 hours later, Elon was like, your thread is weird and stupid and I do not like it. And I'm not saying this because people told me that if I continue to compliment you, a terrorist, with your fucking me becoming president as America burns, that might make me look crazy and hurt Tesla's stock even more. So I was just like, oh my god, like, just can't help himself, just terminally online, the most online divorced man in the history of the world.
Sam.
Yes.
Sad daddy.
Yeah, take that, Elon.
Elon, you're our sad daddy.
And Cleodora Silvestri, the Hellword Grand Inquisitor, says, notorious glory hound Trump announced running for president, yet has been suspiciously absent from his usual rallies and television appearances. If he's actually dead, how long would the GOP keep up a weekend at Bernie's farce to maintain the voter loyalty of Q folk?
I think at this point, I think enough of the luster is off of Trump, and they know that it's easy enough to trick QAnon believers with any number of different baits that they would just be like, Trump died the way he lived, a hero, fighting for all of us. And his last words were, listen to what this guy says now. He's the new me.
They're gonna do like the worst deep fake in the history of the world, where Donald Trump is like, "I am we're not Donald Trump's like, I am very ill, and now you must listen to Governor DeSantis. He is
Based.
Q plus." And
Oh no.
Oh, it'd be great. Oh man, if only they handed the mantle of Q plus to DeSantis.
Also, Trump does still do a lot of rallies. He's just he's just doing it in the conference room of Mar-a-Lago because Carrie Lake has been like practically fucking living there, and they just constantly do events. It's just like Turning Point's 10th anniversary, Moms for Liberty, some bullshit, the Log Cabin Republican event, a bunch of bullshit every fucking day. It's some bullshit, and Trump comes down from the stairs for like 5 minutes and gets his claps.
So basically, what you're saying is instead of going on tour, Trump now has a residency.
Yeah,
Yeah.
basically.
He's got a residency at Mar-a-Lago.
Yeah.
He's gonna do the old school political campaign, the old front porch campaign, where he just hangs out at Mar-a-Lago and yells at the press all day.
Well, that's the alternative option is that they weaken and Bernie's him indefinitely by establishing this pattern where people gather at like Mar-a-Lago, like at the base of these stairs, and then up on the balcony, like Trump comes out and like he lifts his arms up and he's just like, "Hey everybody, I'm Donald Trump. It's great." And then like he retreats back to his bedroom after just being like, "Whatever the policy is that you guys like the most, I'm in favor of that. I'm out." And then you establish the pattern of him doing that while he's alive, and then when he dies, you just rig him up Disney Animagic style, and then everyone gathers at the balcony at the base of the balcony. And Donald Trump just comes out, his arms come up, and it's just like, whatever policy you guys support, I love it. I'm Donald Trump, and I support this message. And
it'll be the new attraction at the Walt Disney World.
Anima Trump, the greatest Trump of them all.
And then he'll open his mouth and he'll barf out a bunch of rifles.
I also love the Second Amendment. Here's how much I love the Second Amendment. Unhinges jaw, AR-15 slides out.
Yeah. Dude, I think Zardoz is a perfectly great dystopian future for the American conservative. Anyway, sorry, Haley.
No, but I do hope that when he dies, because I saw a Trump hotel once, like the one in New York, and it's all gold. And I really do hope that when he dies, they like kind of put him in a tomb like Lenin and let us all go see him.
That in the glass coffin, we could all walk by.
Like a gold kind of lined but clear glass coffin that we could all.
But bigger than Lenin's.
Definitely bigger.
You'll never believe how big my glass coffin's going to be. It's going to be huge. It's going to be
but
the
I do like
and
your
animatronic
coffin. Trump because it's so Florida.
Yeah, Disney's made that part of the Florida culture. You got to have the robot.
I think it'd be sick.
Yeah. And that brings us to our question to numerous for the week is, what are you guys looking forward to?
I'm on vacation, baby, so I've got a bunch of free time. I just ordered a bunch of Chinese food. Probably going to get caught up and watch some anime like a real adult.
I'm gonna get in on that Brendan Fraser marathon that we were talking about earlier because that sounded like it was bringing some nostalgia factors to me. So I'm gonna check out The Mummy.
Good stuff. You should check out Bedazzled if you didn't see that one back.
Oh
in
my
the day.
god, fucking Bedazzled! What else was Brendan Fraser? You remember Blast from the Past?
Yeah, that's sort of like the big Brendan Fraser trifecta.
I
those
fucking
movies all
love
came out within like movie. 2 years of each other.
It probably is shit, but
I think Blast from the Past is the one that's like the most fucked up out of all of them because like the premise is just like exceptionally weird. I haven't got back and rewatched that one yet. Maybe I should do that as well.
They lived in like a bomb shelter, but
Yeah.
like there was no bomb, just like a plane crashed at their house or some shit, and they lived in the bomb shelter for like 30 years.
Yeah,
I just thought the
forget
bomb
what
shelter was sick. I would love that.
I would love to live that shelter life.
Yeah, it was good. Underground. So yeah, and then what's the new movie that he's in that's supposed to be good? Whale.
The Whale.
The Whale.
That one's a real tearjerker, though.
Oh no, I don't want to cry.
I think it's directed by Darren Aronofsky or something.
Oh
like
shit! I never mind. I'll cry. I like his kind of cry.
Anyway, yeah, you should check out The Whale. It's getting a bunch of heat.
Yes.
Oh, heat. Ooh, I like heat.
Yes, the hot heat.
What are you looking forward to, Mike?
I'm looking forward to the fact that after like a decade of being terrible, I'm in the finals of my fantasy football league. I'm going to do it. I'm going to win something that's totally meaningless. It's the saddest life.
You're going to achieve the one Pete.
Yes. Oh God, the dream of the one Pete. Oh man, I am going to be the biggest Seattle Seahawk of all of them with my one title, and that is it. That is all I will ever have.
I hope you win.
That's the Aaron Rodgers way.
Yes, 100% the Aaron Rodgers way. Yeah, so I'm looking forward to that, and also I finally managed to put together a Marvel Snap deck that isn't bad, and I'm learning how to properly snapinate people. So I'm climbing the ranks, and I'm not going to make Infinite this session because I think it ends in a week, and I'm probably not going to be able to climb that high. But next cycle, we're doing it. I'm getting to rank 100. I'm gonna be a fantasy football champion and a big boy at Marvel Snap, and I am crying, and these are tears of joy. I have not thrown my life away. No, I feel good about everything that's going on right now. Just excellent, just absolutely excellent.
Nothing but winners here.
Nothing but winners. The absolute biggest winner.
I've always said this about Marvel Snap. When people are playing Marvel Snap, everyone's winning.
Yup.
I'm a known lover of Marvel Snap.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that's going to do it for us for this week. It is time for us to dust off our hoverboards. That's right. We're going back to hoverboards, and we're going to get on them, and we're going to slowly wheel ourselves out of HellwQrld for the week. Thank you so much for listening to the show, and thank you so much to our special guest host, Haley. Normally, we wait to tell everyone where we can be found on social media, but before everybody runs away from the podcast, tell the people where you can be found on your social media.
I'm Arizona Right Wing Watch on Twitter. And I'm also on Mastodon and Post, so you can find me there.
There you
it's
go.
Like AZ_RWW. You can find me.
Twitter and all of the newer, cooler, harder to use places than Twitter.
They're so fucking hard. Get better.
Yeah, just rip off Twitter, but like do it without Elon Musk, and then everybody will just use it because that was what Twitter was.
Yeah.
Let me just figure it out, idiots. Anyway, thank you, Haley, for joining us this week. If you like the show and you want to continue to support us, you can do so for free by giving us a 5-star review or a thumbs up or whatever the algorithm demands on you from your podcast platform of choice. If you have money and you want to support the show, you can do so by visiting our Patreon at patreon.com/pokerpolitics. If you have $5 or more a month to spare, you can donate at that tier to get access to all of our bonus content, including our litany of series where we go across QAnon pop media, including Kabbalin and What We Do Out of Shadows and Mule's Errand. And at some point when we get back to it, Queem and other stuff that we've got in the works coming up. So $5 a month or more if you want to jump in on that. Or if you have money and you don't want to give it to us, you can do some good with it by donating it at love146.org. They're an organization whose vision is the end of child trafficking and exploitation. And that's always sounded pretty rad to us because we're heroes, and give us credit for that by giving us or them your money. Shout out to DJ Minimal Effort for use of our intro song, as always. Unfortunately, still no social media for them, not even a Mastodon like all of the other cool kids. What a loser DJ Minimal Effort is. Just kidding. I love him. And thank you for use of our intro song. Our buddy Frosty, like the rest of us, still on Twitter for the time being. You can find him at FrostyVO. He is, of course, the voice of Q and all of our bumps, etc. When we need some voice work, we turn to him most of the time, unless it's a lady, which has never happened yet. Because why would it? We're dealing with the American conservative. The ladies are too busy making babies. That's what the seminars are about. Duh. Mm-hmm. All this and more at Not Americon. Anyway, you can find the show on Twitter until Elon craters it completely at HellwQrld with a Q and 7-0. I am at HellwQrld. Sarge, who is no longer with us because he is dead. Just kidding. He's just busy. Is at Sergeant Hell. And Mike Rains is, of course, at Poker Politics. So for another quote-unquote successful episode of the Adventures of HellwQrld podcast, I have been one of your regular hosts, the Mysterious L, joined by off the top rope mysterious guest host who wasn't mysterious because we announced it beforehand, Haley, aka Arizona Right Wing Watch, and of course our expert in all things QAnon crazy and the guy who takes the folding chair out from under the ring and then bashes the referee with it or whatever, Mr. Mike Raines. Good speed, Patriots!